How this affects you.
After the question of being liked or disliked, the issue of being a risk destroys more job possibilities than any other question. Although it still only amounts to 20% of the hiring decision, it is a very crucial 20%. When hiring authorities hire an employee who doesn't work out, they look bad. Next to one's own poor personal performance, hiring people who don't work out leads to a very poor reputation. Hiring poor performers can lead to being fired. No matter how many people are involved in the hiring decision, the immediate hiring authority is held responsible for the decision. If it turns out to be a bad decision, the hiring authority is perceived to be a poor business person. The fear of making a poor hiring decision is a much greater motivator than the vision of a good hiring decision. A good hiring decision is expected, but a poor hiring decision is remembered and ruminated over much longer than a good one. A hiring authority with any reasonable experience can recount every detail of every poor hiring decision he or she ever made. The outstanding hires may be remembered also, but hiring authorities will never forget every aspect of the poor ones. This fear is a great motivator. If a hiring authority has an equal number of good reasons to hire a candidate and good reasons not to hire a candidate, the candidate will never get hired. Because of the risk, a hiring authority is going to err on the side of safety and may pass up an excellent candidate for a lesser person who has fewer risks. The vast majority of candidates don't recognize the risk they pose to the hiring authority. The very things that some candidates think make them excellent to hiring authorities are their biggest liabilities. Here's a list of the major risk factors that candidates present to hiring authorities. If you fit in these categories or situations, reread this chapter and mitigate your own risk. Being the president of a company. Being fired. Owning your own company. Being out of work for an extended period of time no matter what the reasons. Too many jobs in the short period of time, that is, 3 jobs in 2 years. For women, coming back into the workforce after raising a family. Being at one company too long. Changing careers. Working in a small company and interviewing at a very large company. Having worked in nothing but large companies and interviewing at a small company. Poor performance as a salesperson or poor performance reviews. Going through a divorce. Being in one company for a very long time and never getting a promotion. Leaving a job for personal reasons that you can't explain. Being unhappy in just about every, or any, job you've ever had. Being motivated by your spouse or family members to change jobs. Philosophical differences with your present employer that don't make sense. Reasons for changing, like, it's just time for a change. I'm not really looking to change, but if the right deal came along. Poor previous employment references. Too many traffic violations, misdemeanors, or brushes with the law. Casual reasons for leaving your present or past jobs. Poor credit. There are others. You just need to be sure that you think critically about what your risk factors might be. Ask your spouse or a close friend about your risk factors. Even better, a good recruiter who has been in the business for a long period of time might help you strategize about your risks.